So hello friends who are watching Team God Gaming. Hope you guys doing well, and I am back with another guide. And today we are going to talk about Hillbilly's curves. By the way, before that, I want to mention you guys all the types of hillbillies. So I'm not going to describe them at all. You can see all the types on the screen, and then we'll jump into the curve guide. Also, don't use any add-on combo that is mentioned here that includes the ED add-on or the boots add-on, means the turned boot add-ons. Okay, because these add-ons affect your muscle memory tremendously, and as a learner or as a average hillbilly player, I think everyone should go with the add-ons that does not affect or change the stats of your base kit at all. So go for those add-on combos. Don't go for the ED or the turned based add-ons combos at all as a beginner or as average hillbilly player. Now, if you want to practice Hillbilly's curves and Blight's flicks, then pick these perks on them: Corrupt Intervention, Ruin, Undying, and Deadlock. Pick these four perks, no add-ons, and add only two bots in your lobby. Then jump into any map like the Macmillan maps, Auto Heaven maps, Rotten Fields, and ED of Crows, and you can practice curves on those maps. After that, don't pick any perk, don't pick any add-on. Go to maps like Laddies, Badham, and Pale Rose and practice against four bots. Now I am going to talk about some of the tiles that you can curve or you can't. Now I have already marked with a legend: easy curve, calculated curve, tricky curve. This kind of tiles you can see in the bottom left. These kind of tiles are very tricky to curve, and I don't recommend at all curving around them. I recommend you go and backgrave survivors. Backgrave is just like you are behind a server and then you charge your chainsaw and quickly chainsaw them. That is the trick. I don't recommend going like 180-degree curve, 90-degree curve at all. Also, the top left object, those kind of objects, never try to curve from the cross side. I have crossed that side because there may be micro objects, mini objects, or trees that will block your curve, so always go for the easy sides. Now we are going to talk about the tiles you should curve and around them you should not curve. Long wall gyms are not good for curving at all. You can go curve the pallet side or the opposite side, but don't go for the window side. Always try to backgrave or close the distance between you and the survivor you're trying to curve down. Then you go for the curve. Also, in case of TL walls, always bamboozle one window, then go for the curve. I recommend go bamboozle the T window, then you curve around the L window. So now we are in the Auto Heaven map, and this car is very loopable, sorry, curvable. You can curve it like this. It's called 180. By the way, 180 and 90-degree curve I have mentioned my previous Billy guide when he was just got his rework of the overdrive. Never loop this style, these junk tiles. Never try to loop them because they have rough hitbox, and sometimes you can get stuck or servers can hide on these gaps also. Okay, let me show you. See, they have rough hitboxes. I got stuck on the small TV. Also this one also. Junk tiles are not good for curve. If you can curve them like using overdrive, that's a different story, or even if you master them, but they have many gaps where survivors can crouch take you, so don't try to curve around them at all. I don't recommend that. Like this. See, you can't hug them very tightly. You will get stuck on this type of areas. Now if you want to go for like hitting this part, sometimes servers stay here and crouch take so that you can hit, but you can close the gap by just changing the angle where you start. Now I have overdrive, so I will step back a little bit, and you have to always target that part, and you have to calculate that server when server will reach that part and release your chainsaw the moment they reach there. Okay, this way you can hit a survivor who have already almost crossed the truck. Also, this vehicle means this crushed car and this car are very good for like curves, because they don't have collision. Like this car has the middle part, this middle part as a collision area, but other than that it does not have any collision. See, it's very easy to curve around this vehicle. This middle part has collision. By the way, the edges does not. Marking will help you. Maybe that will be good. You can also mind game around these tiles and then go for the curve. But be careful. Like if you start curving very quickly, you will collide on the collision part and can't be, and you will stuck around it. So always try to like wait for the second and then go for the curve. Now let's talk about this garage. This garage is very good because of these two brokeable walls. Okay, you can use them as aiming tools like this, and aim your curves very good, means very precisely, like how much you have to turn so that you can hit your target. So you can practice around that. Also, this vehicle inside the garage is very good for to learn curving. Like see, it's a very smooth curve because due to the pallet and this tire, there is a very narrow way through that you can curve. So you will master curving in this garage very quickly. Also, let me show you. See, the area is very narrow, so your curving technique needs to be precise. Otherwise, you will collide to the wall and can't curve at all. That's why this garage is very good to learn curving. And also because of this generator will help you to create the gap area. Let me show. See, if you can't create a perfect curve, you will collide with the generator. So it will also help you to learn how to create a perfect curve. So this garage is very good to learn curving. I recommend this garage to learn curving all the time. You can learn curving very well. Now let's talk about the killer shack. Now killer shack is totally good for 180 curves and S curve and Z curve. Let me show you the S curve. So this is called S curve. I always recommend go for S curve with the base kit or the engravings. Don't go for S curve with overdrive, because in overdrive you can't really do S curve that very well. And this is called sorry, that one called Z curve and this one called S curve. With S curve you have to aim for the edge of the window, not window directly, because sometimes survivors don't vault and they go for the locker. And hillbilly's chainsaw has a vacuum effect, means if you are too close to a survivor, it will automatically lock on that. Also it happens with the pallets, if you notice that palette brokeable walls. So you have to master S curve and Z curve in shack. It's very good. Like S curves are very good if you want to learn. You can like curve around narrow areas very quickly. Now let's talk about 180 around shack. If you start turning very quickly, because there is a pallet here, you will vacuum to the pallet. You can go a little bit wide to hit your target, or you can like create an angle before starting and go for your target. Like 180 has a various way to start. Like here I am going to create an angle. Okay, sorry, I turned to the wrong direction. But let's talk about another thing. If you maintain a distance from the shack wall and start curving, then you can hit a target on the other side of the wall who is already made a quite amount of distance. This one was wrong a little bit, like this. And okay, by using this kind of curve, you can hit also servers who stay close to the wall all the time, like this. I was talking about this curve. By the way, I got the overdrive, but it's not like I always need overdrive. Also, you can start your curve by creating that kind of angle, because when you create that angle you can go wide like this and hit this area. Curving is all about calculating your angle. Like, see, I create a small angle so that I can hit on that window if there is a survey nearby me. Now I create a wide angle so that I can hit a far survivor. Also, I can start by narrow way like this and go for the other side of the wall like this. So curving totally means like you have to create an angle, proper angle, to hit the survivors. Okay. Also, this is a short wall jungle gym. I only prefer loopable tiles like short wall jungle gym for curving. Like, you can go for 180 or 90 curves around this like this, and you can go hit a survivor here. By the way, learning hillbilly is very tough. Like, learning is a tough thing, then mastering him is another level. That's why I recommend don't go for any add-ons that modify your base kit, like turn rate, speed. Don't use those kind of add-ons. Like, you can go for miss cooldown add-on, collision cooldown add-on, stealth add-ons, or other add-ons like overtime, staying for a very long amount of time, or you can gain overdrive very quickly. You can go for that kind of add-on, but don't go for add-on that totally change your muscle memory. Because if you are trying to use add-ons that change your muscle memory early stages of your learning, then you would not be able to learn them. Let me show you. If recently I am trying to learn the drift wheelie, means the spike boot with the engravings, and now I am trying to use the base kit in hillbilly, and I can't curve this area because I was learning those two add-on combos in this area, and now see, I can't curve at all. By the way, I have a P6 billy, but still I can't curve them. So that is the problem. Don't go for add-ons on hillbilly, because if you go with add-ons on hillbilly, your muscle memory will be like, what can I say, in a haywire or hazard nature. You can't play hillbilly at all. So try to master his base kit. When you have a like almost huge supply of add-ons, like you have already 100 uh, uh, engraving add-ons or 100 both of the boot add-ons, then you can turn those add-ons as your base kits. You can use them as your base kit. But if you don't have a huge supply of them, then don't try to make them your base kit at all. It will affect your muscle memory tremendously. Now let's continue to other tiles. Now it's a four lane because it has four walls of lane like walls and three roads in between them. By the way, you can curve them very easily, but you have to notice one thing: if window is here, it's okay, but if window is here, not sorry, not here, if the window is here, then you have to treat it as a long wall gym, and you have to bamboozle it so that sir can vault it, and then you can go for curving. Or otherwise, the other way, close the distance between you and the survivor and then curve. So after this, I am not going to explain how to curve around the tiles. You have to master, you have to understand how I am curving. So watch and learn. Also, I recommend that you don't use gyro to learn hillbilly's curves, because gyro is not required at all. And one thing I have noticed, because I have used gyro for a very long time on hillbilly after the sensitivity changes, that if your device slightly tilted towards the direction and you are trying to curve to the opposite direction, what I'm trying to say is that, think that your device is tilted towards left and you are trying to curve to right side of your screen. But what happens, because your device already tilted toward left, game all the time gets a signal that you are trying to turn left side, and when you are trying to curve to the right side, it cancel out slightly each other and you can't curve properly, and you think that it's your skill issue, but it's not. It's because of your device is maybe slightly tilted, and gyro creating that issue. So don't use gyro on HillBilly at all.
The age of cybernetics.